Hello everyone, my name is Julian and welcome to a new video on my channel, JP Zone TV. In today's video, I'm gonna show you 10 quick starter tips, hints in this direction to get along and to get better at the game. So let's start with the first one. The first one is actually right at the start before you even start the map. It's the starting location. Now, every new player, including myself, I think starts in the grass fields because it looks nice and it looks really cool, and it says ideal for first-time pioneers. Now, this thing is really easy to start. It has all the resources and it's great to get to know the game. Now, the Dune Desert is, I would say, a really nice, the best starting location because it has a lot of copper nodes and a lot of iron nodes, and it's really flat, so you can build just huge factories there. And then are those two. I personally, this says suitable for first-time pioneers, but I personally think this is more of a advanced to really good player, because you are near every hard area in the game. And it's just, it can get a bit hard, but I mean, if you know the game a bit decent, you can start here easily. And then there's the Northern Forest. The Northern Forest has the big problem that it has a huge valleys and mountains, and is not that good for flat areas and for building huge factories. So I personally would say if you start off the game first, grass fields, and then you can choose. I started off with in here, and then I moved to the Dune Desert. I skipped those two because they are not really good for mega factories. So let's see number 2. Now I'm here in my new world, one of my newest worlds actually, and yeah, I had a bit inspiration of Kibitz there, but I am trying to build a bit different. Just a rare structure. So tip number 2 has a lot to do with the hotbar you can see here. You see there are numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and there are no empty slots here. What you can do is you can hover above an object, let's see the map, and you press the key or the number you want to assign it to. 5, then it's on 5, 6, it's on 6, and so on. If you have it and you want it on 1, just press 1 and then replace the item. Pretty simple. And if you press Alt and scroll with your mouse wheel, you see you have 10 individual inventory hotbars, which can be pretty useful. Let's say 1 for constructing, 1 for building, 1 for pipes, and so on and so on. Just a quick tip. Now let's move on with tip number 3. Now tip number 3 is, or actually it's more of a hint rather than a tip. It has to do with those poison rocks. Now they can't be destroyed, they are just there till the end of the game. And they are individual objects. What that means is they deal individual damage. Let's say this deals 10 damage, and this deals 10 damage, and this deals 10 damage. So if you stand in the middle of it, you get 30 damage rather than only 10, because it's actually one big cloud. So those things make individual damage. Keep that in mind. Pretty useful to know. Now, tip number 4. So as you can see here everywhere, I built everything in foundations. Really everything. And that's actually my tip number 4 for you guys. Build on foundations. I know especially at the start of the game, all of you are like, yeah, I'm just gonna build one here, one factory here, and there, and there, and there. And you'll have a hard time later on, especially when you want to build upwards. That's definitely not the case when you build on the ground. So, foundations, the most important thing. And one step further, you can actually link every single building you have to the main foundation you have. So that means you don't go ahead and just place here an area and there an area like this. So you link them up to have a nice clean transition. Now, that's everything for it. Build on foundations. Now, tip number 5 has a lot to do with the power boosters. You can actually boost your power. You can actually boost your machines up to 250% of the base clock speed. This is actually pretty useful when you build when you want to build smaller factories and want to get more output of the research nodes. Now, every power shard can be produced, you can see it here, by those power stacks. And I made a video you can see right now in the top right corner that shows you how to unlock everything here. I have the MAM guide where it says it. So let's continue with tip number 6. Now, tip number 6 has a lot to do with dismantling. Because if you want to get rid of, let's say, this foundation here, and I'm sorry for the lags, it's just I built huge structures and the game isn't that optimized for it. Now, if I want to remove a couple objects, I could just dismantle them one by one, or I would hold control and hover over every object I want to dismantle, and then just press left mouse click. This is actually also pretty useful if you have a few boxes. Let's say you want to dismantle everything here, but your inventory is full. That means you get a little crate with items in it, and you have to pick it up individually. If you remove everything at once and are over here, then the little crate will pop up here rather than on every individual space. Just a quick reminder. Now, tip number 7. Now, tip number 7 has a lot to do with the space elevator. The space elevator has objects you need to put into them in order to unlock new stages and to get more advanced machines. Those objects can't be crafted by hand. You have to use a manufacturer or an assembler for it. You can't just go ahead and crafting bench and craft them. Now keep that in mind when you go for the bigger things, and they are extremely slowly on production. Really slowly. Now, tip number 8. Now, I'm currently here in my storage area, and that's actually the tip number 8. Have a central storage area. You will have a lot more time on concentrating on buildings and factories rather than on collecting items. So that's just my storage area. I have multiple different on every version. I have a different storage area, and keep that in mind and try doing it the most beautiful and making it the most beautiful room, because it's the room where you spend most of your time, and this game is so bugged here, as you can see here. And I can show you how to do it if you want to in a video, so write in the comments if you need advice, but I think it's self-explanatory. Now, the second but last tip. Tip number 9 is get coal power as soon as possible. I'm not joking when I tell you, as soon as you reach coal power, you reach a whole new game experience. Because now you are not independent on collecting leaves and stuff. And if you want to know how, I made a video, you can see in the right corner here, on the best coal setup, which is actually just this one, but this one is a bit compacter. And yeah, that's everything. Because as soon as you get coal power, you have automated power. And you have more time building your factories. Now, the last tip. Is all about the color gun. You unlock it in the MAM, again, which I linked the video a bit earlier. And this thing has such a big impact on the game. Because you can see I have no munition at all. But I can right click here and then edit this first section. Now, let's see. If I want to make it, for example, let's make it white. If I want to make it white and update presets, now it's red and white and not red and black anymore. As you can see on those little tiny things here and there. But the primary, the primary color is the most important thing. I don't want to change it now because I have my presets and it's just perfect as it is. But again, if you want to know how, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I can show you later on how I did everything. So, if you enjoyed this video about 10 quick tips, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It would really help me out a lot, guys. And we see ourselves in a new video tomorrow, actually. Have a great day.